So after this exciting talk, we are going to hear Peter Grosskopf, who is very well known in the blockchain ecosystem in Germany and also internationally. Peter, among many other things, had been the co-founder and CTO of Solaris Bank. He had been the CTO and a managing director at Börse Stuttgart Digital Exchange. And I think around about 1.5 to 2 years ago, he co-founded Unstoppable Finance and is the CTO of Unstoppable Finance, a very exciting app that just recently launched, and I'm very curious to hear more about that. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you. All right, so there we go with the presentation. Actually, the Unstoppable Finance was founded 1 year and 2 months ago, so it's not 2 years yet. It feels like 2 years, but because we made quite some progress, but it's actually quite young. And I'm going to tell you about DeFi and the future of banking, because it's about blockchain in use, and I think there's exciting stuff happening. So am I. I'm Peter, so I already got introduced. So let's jump right in. So as you've heard, so I work kind of in the, I'm actually a tech person who ended up in the financial service industry. So kind of if you play with the wrong kids on the schoolyard, this accidentally happens. So I learned a lot about kind of the finance industry and also regulation and so on. And so one thing which is super remarkable for me is, so here's this Andreessen Horowitz quote, "Software is eating the world." I think every one of you has heard it. And in the meanwhile, kind of, there are really many industries being disrupted. So for example, Amazon really revolutionized retail, Spotify, the music industry. We all know the services got better, faster, cheaper, more digital, and also more really meeting our zeitgeist. But so there's one industry that almost remained unchanged, and that's the financial service industry. And so we're talking about blockchains here. From my point of view, there's really 2 waves that happened to us over the past, let's say, 10 years roughly. And the first one was, well, so there, Satoshi and maybe his colleagues invented the Bitcoin protocol and showed that blockchains can be used as a means of payment. But then people realized that the Bitcoin price and also other cryptocurrencies has been rising in price almost infinitely, yeah. So there was a big trading industry that has been created. So in the end, crypto was not invented to be traded as a speculative asset. So it was meant to do transactions and to build applications on top of that. And from my point of view, so it's this, there's now this second wave really building up, so that we now kind of get away from only thinking about like, okay, so there's an asset and I can trade it, and there's MiCA regulation, and I have centralized exchanges. And we're talking about whether Sparkasse is enabling users to trade Bitcoin or not. I think there's now the second wave really coming, showing that financial services are built with like on top of blockchain. And I think this is also when we're talking about blockchain in use, this is really now the important fact that we have to learn that kind of like trading is nice, and it's kind of part of every person's portfolio in the future. But more important is that now really financial services are built on top of the blockchain. And so what's DeFi actually? So I define it as financial services built with smart contracts. What's so great about it? And again, comparing the traditional finance world with the new possibilities, it's permissionless. Everyone can get access to it. So it's not like at BerChain where you have a bouncer that says, no, you're not allowed to get in, so everyone can really join no matter where you're located. It's highly interoperable, protocols are built. They're in the end public APIs that can be used by everyone. So there's other applications using these APIs, and kind of these money Legos are created that you have like a value chain that's constituted of many smart contracts used from different teams who develop that, which is super amazing, because comparing it with the traditional finance industry, it's so there has been the open banking standard, the PSD2, and the banks really tried to define standards that you get accessibility to your bank account through an API to use it in third-party applications, but it's in the end a mess, and the standards really took a long time to be defined, and I think just within a very short amount of time, we had DeFi now popping up and really showing how to do this better, and even at a global scale, and not only a European scale. So this is cool. It's global. So it's the first time that we have a financial service infrastructure that you can use all across the globe. Yeah, and so no matter if you're in Chile or in Japan, everyone is using the same infrastructure. Then it's super transparent. You can follow all the transactions. You can even read the source code of the smart contracts and of the applications that they're built, which makes them auditable, kind of almost 100%. Also speaking about again the comparison to the traditional finance, it's manipulation free almost, because the source code that's been written once can't be changed anymore. So therefore, once you could build it, you could inspect it, you rerun it, and then it will always stay the same. And so when talking to regulators, for example, so I'm kind of bringing myself a lot of conversations with regulators also to explain what's going on there, and also about the opportunities that we have here, because I really see DeFi as a technology solving the dilemma of regulators, because financial services also in the traditional world get more complex every day. And if humans who are in the end delivering financial services want to manipulate, they will always get it, right? So we've seen with Wirecard, so there were criminals, they wanted to manipulate, they achieved this, and it was very difficult to follow it. And so if there's a smart contract delivering it, it's 100% automized. The machine will only do what you tell to the machine, and therefore, so assuming that the source code got audited and it's correct, then it's in the end regulation-free, because you can kind of do this by design. So what you can do with DeFi, well, it can almost replace any financial service that's out there, so from the marketplace to lending protocols, currencies, and so on. And I think we're also seeing this happening right now, so that there's many projects out there really reinventing finance on a different platform. So, and now narrowing to what we do. So how do you get access? You, in the end, need to open a non-custodial wallet, which is a software application kind of helping you to create a key, so like a bank account on the blockchain, and it gives you access to that. And it's the easiest way to integrate your own custodian, so you don't need a bank, because you're doing it yourself. And also when explaining it to outsiders of the crypto space, I'm always showing my purse, so my offline money bag. It's almost the same. You have the money in your pocket, you own it, you lose your wallet, okay, so then it's gone. And it's almost the same here with non-custodial wallets. And so what makes me exciting about non-custodial wallets? In the end, the whole blockchain technology is built on top of foundational technologies that are around for 50+ years, so especially cryptography. And the idea of a PKI, so kind of private key, public key cryptography, it's very universal. So you're probably using it when opening your mobile phone like many times every day without really noticing, because it's such a foundational technology, and you can build actually more than that. Yeah, so you can build financial services, like I explained with DeFi, but you can also, open your home with that. You can open your car in the future. You can tokenize assets, and there's really a wide range of use cases for it. And therefore, we believe that wallets will become the super apps 2.0 in the future, so because you might integrate it with hundreds of applications in your digital life. So what are we doing with Ultimate? So we want to bring DeFi to the masses, and what's the way we do this? So we have three paths that we follow. So the first one is to build a product which is really easy to use, because I think many of you know that DeFi still is complicated, and you browse the websites, you connect your wallet, every website looks different, you have different explanations, different terminologies, and so on. You need to be very deep in DeFi to follow up everything. So we want to make it very easy, just one application, We integrate protocols directly into the app and also curate it so that especially people who are not so familiar with DeFi really get an easy entry and can just invest into DeFi with a few fingertips. So that's the first thing. The second thing is education, because it's not our aim to, well, of course, everyone who's having a wallet already can use our product, but we want to bring the next 20 million users to the space. So therefore, we also do a lot of education talks, especially also a lot of talks on non-crypto events. So I'm talking next week on an anti-money laundering conference. It will be quite fun. A lot of people to educate and to evangelize for the topic we have here. And the third one is to also involve ourselves in the regulation, because we all know it's coming. The centralized exchanges are already regulated with the MiCA, and on the European Commission, people are already wrapping their head around regulation for DeFi, and we really want to make sure that it's not going in the wrong direction. Therefore, we involve ourselves as much as we can to really make sure that the technology will survive. All right, and maybe as a last word, as you feel, I'm really enthusiastic about DeFi, and I really believe with the properties of being open, permissionless, and non-manipulatable, so you can really build the best financial service ecosystem that ever existed in human history, and that's why we do it. And if you want to know more, you can follow us on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter, you can join our waitlist. You will be in the society. We have 480,000 people, I guess now, who signed up. We're not live yet, but we will be live soon, so sign up. And yeah, I'm around here, so if you have questions, speak to me. Thank you.